Hey everyone, welcome to Homeschool and welcome back to Class 11 Chemistry series. And today's session is all about the chapter Organic Chemistry. Already one part is over in this Organic Chemistry chapter, which included introduction, and also I taught you how to find hybridization of carbon atoms in molecule, right? So that is the most basic and important concept. So you need to understand it carefully. So there in part 1 video, I have end the session with one question, right? So the question was to find the hybridization of this molecule, right? So something like this, C double bond CH2. So this was the molecule I gave, and I asked you to find hybridization of every carbon atom. So here this carbon, it has 2 single bonds and 1 double bond. Say this carbon has 1 pi bond. Say in a double bond, 1 is pi, 1 is sigma. So pi bond is associated with this carbon, and it is associated, that is connected with this carbon also. Since this carbon has 1 pi bond, right? So its hybridization is sp2. Whereas you see this carbon, this side 1 pi bond is there, this side another pi bond is connected to this carbon, right? So in that case, see this carbon is like connected to 2 pi bonds. When a carbon has 2 pi bonds around it, then the hybridization is sp, right? It is not sp2. You cannot just decide based on the double bonds, right? So if a carbon has got a double bond, then it is sp2, right? But sometimes you have to think carefully. See, the concept is actually if a carbon has 2 pi bonds around it, then the hybridization is sp. Okay, so here this carbon's hybridization is sp and this carbon's hybridization is sp2, right? Say many of you have given a correct answer in comments, so congratulations to all of them. See, I can't mention a single name because many have given correct answers. So all the best for you guys, and keep learning and keep enjoying the concepts. See, if you have to understand a concept, if you have to feel the subject easy, you must love the subject. Okay, until and unless you love the concepts, it will not come to your head. You know, it is all give and take type. See the respect. We give respect, we take respect, right? Say similar to that, even we have to love the concept. You know, you have to love the subject, then the subject will automatically love you. Okay, so when you have that synchronization between you and subject, then you know it becomes friendly with you and you can solve any question that comes from a particular subject. So only thing is, try to love the subject. Once you love the subject, automatically you study them in a deeper level. When you study something in a deeper level, you will understand the beauty of the concept. Then it's very easy to answer any question that can be asked from a concept, right? So this is what I personally believe. So, you know, learn with passion, learn with love, and learn with lots of interest. Then this organic chemistry is a beautiful chemistry that you will find, and you know, your journey in learning organic will become much easier. Okay, fine. So that's all about finding hybridization of every carbon in a molecule. And in future, I'll come up with many more examples. So as of now, I will stop this topic. And today, I am going to talk about how to write structural formulas, you know, structural representation of organic compounds. So our today's topic is structural representation. This is also very, very important and very, very basic, guys. Structural representation of organic compounds. We can represent organic compounds in different ways. Okay, so we have something like you know, condensed formula, right? Condensed formula way of representing organic molecule. Expanded structure, we can represent in expanded structure. And most importantly, we have something called bond line representation. bond line representation. So all of them we will try to understand. Okay, so before we learn these structures, these kinds of representing organic molecule, you should know certain basics. Okay, so to understand this, we need to know few basics about functional groups. Okay, details about functional groups I'll be covering it in next videos, but now whatever basic that is required to understand this representation, that I am teaching you now. Clear? Okay, so try to understand what do you mean by functional group. See, this is a very, very important word that you will come across in organic chemistry. Functional group. Say, functional group is nothing but it is an atom or group of atoms. Group of atoms, okay, present in organic compounds. Present in organic compounds, and this group of atoms will decide the chemical properties of a compound. Okay, so these groups decide, chemical properties of organic compounds. Okay, say for example, just try to remember this table as of now. Functional group, okay, so its name and then example or class of compound. So try to observe these two columns, guys. So the first important functional group, a common functional group that we study is OH group. Okay, say OH is one of the special group. If any organic compound has this group, then they will show different chemical properties. They behave in a different way. Okay, so usually this OH group is called as alcoholic group. Okay, so actually when you write its name in a molecule, you will write this group as OL. Okay, fine. And for example, you must have studied in your lower classes ethanol, right? So ethanol, how do you write? C2H5OH, right? You see, this is one organic compound where you have this group OH. Okay, so its name is ethanol, right? So we will learn the naming and all in the later videos. Just try to understand the group. So there is a functional group called OH. So whenever you have OH as a functional group, then those compounds are called alcohols. They are called with the name alcohols. Okay, fine. So the next group is CHO group. So any group, when you mention separately, you should mention with this bond. This means a bond. Okay, so it doesn't present single. It is always present with some carbon atoms. Okay, you see this OH group, when it is present single, no, it doesn't have any significance. Okay, it doesn't have any importance. This OH group always present, it is connected to carbon atoms. When it is connected to carbon atoms, only then this group has some importance. Only then you call that group as alcoholic group. Okay, so that's why we will mention this dash. This means a bond. That means OH has a bond with some carbon atoms. Okay, so we are not particularly learning with example. Generally, we are learning about OH group. It cannot be present single. It is always present in connection with carbon atoms, always in organic compound. So we always mention this bond when we write it single. Okay, fine. So this is CHO group. So if I have to write its elaborate structure, it is written like this: C double bond OH. Okay, you see, always between carbon and oxygen, there will be a double bond. If oxygen is single and it has connected to carbon, it is always gets connected by a double bond. Okay, so this is carbon, double bond O, single bond H, and the other side, this bond is with some other carbon atoms that comes in a molecule, that comes in a chain. Okay, and this group, if this group is there in organic compound, then those compounds are called aldehydes. We call them as aldehydes. And whenever this group is there, you know, the compound's name will end with Al. Okay, so the group's name is Al. What type of group it is? It is aldehydic group. You will find that in aldehydes. Okay, say this is what? Another functional group. And coming to third group, we have a group like COOH. Okay, so if I have to elaborate, if I have to write this group in an expanded form, I'll write like this. C, one oxygen with double bond, and another one is OH. Another oxygen is present as OH. Okay, so this is the expanded form of this group. You must know expanded form of the group also. Okay, so this is important to write, you know, the bond line representation or the condensed formula. Okay, so this idea is important. CHO, if it is there, so how we can write this in an expanded form? We can write this as C double bond OH. If COOH is there, how we can write this in an expanded form? It is written as C double bond OH. Okay, so if this group is there in organic compound, then those organic compounds are called carboxylic acids. They are called as carboxylic acid. Okay, so if this group is there, then the name of a compound will end with a letter oic acid. Okay, so this part of the names I'll teach you during nomenclature. Don't worry. Just what I want you to learn at this point is, if you have a group CHO, how you can write this in an expanded way. That is this way. If you have a group like COOH, how do you write this in an expanded way? C double bond OH. Okay, so writing them in an expanded way is very, very important. Okay, so that's what you need to understand at this point of time. Okay, fine. So these are the three important groups, and the next group that I would like to mention here is CN group. Okay, so this group is called cyanide group. This is called cyanide group, and if we have to expand this, we will expand this as C triple bond N. Okay, so carbon should have 4 bonds. Triple bond, you will have triple bond with nitrogen. Okay, so this is the expanded way of writing CN group. Okay, got to know? So don't worry about its name. It is actually called as nitrile group. All that we will be learning in nomenclature. Okay, so I want at least these groups to have an idea about. Another group. Okay, so this is ketone group, CO group. Okay, CO group is mentioned as this way. So this group we normally call it as ketones. Okay, if this group is there in organic compound, we can call it as ketone. Okay, so at least these groups, how to write them in an expanded form. This idea you must have to learn structural representation. Okay, so hope you are clear with the idea. If CHO is there, expanded form is this. If COOH is there, expanded form is this. Okay, so these are some important functional group. Many are there. I will give their entire list during nomenclature. Okay, fine. And now let us come to a topic, condensed formula, expanded structure, and how to write bond line representation. So among the three, this way of learning, this way of representing organic molecule is very, very important. So let's understand them in a detailed way. So observe this example, guys. You know what? Let me take a very simple molecule as an example initially, that you have learnt it in your basic classes. Let me take ethene. Okay, so ethene. So how do you write ethene formula? We will normally write it as C2H4, isn't it? Say, how do you write its structure? If I ask you to write its structural formula, how do you write? All that you must have learnt in your class 10, isn't it? So two carbons, and there is a double bond, ethene, E-N-E, in the sense there is a double bond between carbon atoms. So one hydrogen here, another hydrogen. So two hydrogens on this carbon, right? So this is the structural formula. This is what we call structural formula of ethene. Okay, so this is called structural formula of ethene. Very, very important, right? And now I will tell you what do you mean by condensed formula. Condensed formula is nothing but, without bonds, you have to mention the compound. Say this particular compound, this particular structure, I will mention without bonds. Okay, see, I don't mention these bonds between hydrogen. Normally, bonds between carbon and hydrogen, we don't mention. Okay, so this one, I'll write it as CH2. Okay, since it is a double bond, we need to know that there is a double bond between carbon and carbon. Double bond I will mention. Okay, and here these CH bonds also I don't mention. I'll just write it as CH2. Right? Say this is what we call condensed formula. Okay, if there was a single bond between carbon and carbon, we don't mention that single bond also. If it is a double bond or triple bond, you mention. If all are single bonds, we don't mention anything. Okay, say another example. Example number 2. For example, you take ethane. Okay, so how do you write the structural formula of ethane? CH3, right? Say 3 hydrogen atoms, and the other carbon also has 3 hydrogen atoms. How do I write condensed formula for ethane? This is structural formula. Condensed formula can be, I'll just write CH3 and CH3. See, I have not mentioned any bond here. If all are single bonds, no need to mention any bond. Even bond between carbon and carbon also we don't mention. Okay, so this is what we call condensed formula. Okay, so the moment I say CH3, you must understand that between carbon and hydrogen, single bond is there. Between this carbon and this carbon also, single bond is there. Okay, so, what few people think is CH3, they think that there is a bond between these hydrogens and this carbon. No, bond is there between this carbon and these hydrogens. Okay, so you should never get confused with the formulas, right? So this is the way of writing condensed formula. Clear? And now you see another example I will give you. Try to write the condensed formula on your own. Right? Some expanded formula I'll give you. H C H COH. Okay, say this is one expanded formula I gave you. You have to convert this into condensed formula. Converting expanded structure into condensed formula, and when condensed formula is given, converting into expanded formula or structural formula is very, very important. Okay, so this is expanded formula, structural formula. So what is its condensed formula? How do you represent as condensed formula? I don't mention anything. See, CH3, and this carbon has 2 hydrogens, CH2. This carbon has 2 hydrogens, CH2. This carbon has 2 hydrogens, CH2. And what is this? COH, in the sense aldehydic group? No. CHO group. Just now I have shown CHO can be written in this way as expanded formula, right? So I'll just write the entire thing as CH4. That's it. See, I have not mentioned any bond. Okay. See, if between carbon atoms double bond or triple bond is there, then you have to mention. Between carbons, if all are single bonds, okay, you no need to mention. Okay. So in a group, if double bond is there, you no need to mention. It is the expanded form of CHO. You can just write it as CHO. Okay, so this is how condensed formulas can be written when structural formulas are given. Okay, so now I will give you example number 4. I will give you condensed formula. You have to write its structural formula. Okay. See, the condensed formula that I give is CH3, CH, CH3, CH2, OH. Okay. You see this compound. This is the condensed formula of some organic compound. Okay. So, how do you write its structural formula? Okay. Structural formula we have to write for this compound. You see CH3. First you mention the carbon atoms. You see this is a carbon, this is a carbon, and you see this CH3 group is there in a bracket, right? If something is there in a bracket, it is understood that that contents within the bracket is there as a branch. Okay. See, this particular group is there as a branch for which carbon? To this carbon or to this carbon? It is to this carbon. It is to this carbon. Okay. So always the branch. Okay. If something is there in a bracket, that bracket contents are there as a branch for left carbon, not to a right carbon. Okay. Most of the times the branch is there at the left carbon. Okay. Not to right carbon. Right. You see the structure how I'll write. So this is one carbon in a chain. This is another carbon in a chain. The third carbon is this. Okay. CH2 and later OH is there. Okay. Now this carbon has 3 hydrogens, right? 1, 2, 3. This carbon has 1 hydrogen and one group as CH3. Okay. Again this CH3 you can expand. 1 hydrogen here, second hydrogen here, third hydrogen here. And this CH2, these hydrogens also I'll expand. H, H. Okay, you see, this was the condensed formula I gave you and I have written this into structural formula. Okay, so this is very, very important. Okay, so when something is there in a bracket, understand that that group is there as a branch to which carbon? To the left side carbon. Okay, not to the right side carbon. Okay, so this is what you have to understand. So now some more examples from your textbook I will give you. Try to write them into a structural formula or condensed formula. See the example number 1 from your textbook. See, they have given condensed formula. What is this? If there are no bonds between carbon and hydrogen, between carbon and carbon, you know, if no bonds at all, then it is called condensed formula. Okay. You have to write its structural formula. How do you write the structural formula? CH3, CH2, CO, CH2, CH3. Nothing is mentioned in a bracket. That means there are no branches only, right? So don't worry. Just count the carbon atoms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So all the 5 carbons are connected in a line. So put those carbons first with the bonds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is your first carbon. This is your second carbon. Okay, so this is your third carbon. This is your fourth carbon. This is your fifth carbon. Okay, so you see the first carbon, 3 hydrogens. So 1, 2, 3, all single bonds only. If there were double bonds, they will definitely mention. Okay, fine, all single bonds. So this carbon, 2 hydrogens, one here, another one here. CO, this is a functional group. CO, how do you elaborate? Always oxygen with double bond. Okay, so this is a ketone group. Okay, fine. And CH2, 2 hydrogens here. And last carbon, 3 hydrogens. With the hydrogen, always you have to show single bonds with carbon. Okay, so this is the structural formula for this condensed formula. Hope you all are getting clear with the concept. This is very, very important. And coming to second example, guys. CH3, CH2, double bond, CH2 thrice. You see, it is not CH3. If CH3 is there, then it must have stayed as a branch to left side carbon. But this is CH2. You need to think. Okay. And CH3. Okay. First, let me put the carbon atoms in a line. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. Think that something that is there in a bracket will be there as a branch. If you think that way, Okay, let me consider this as a branch initially, and this 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 carbons in a line. 4 carbons in a line. This is the first carbon, this is the second carbon. Between second carbon and third carbon, you see double bond is there. If double triple bonds are there, they will mention. Okay, fine. And this carbon has 3 hydrogens. So one here, another one here, third one here. This carbon has 1 hydrogen, that is here. This carbon has 1 hydrogen, that is here. And you feel that CH2s are how many? 3 are there. Okay, and they are there as a branch to whom? This carbon. So you may have a tendency to put CH2s like this. One CH2, another CH2, another. Can you expect CH2 at the end? You see this carbon. 1, 2, 3. Carbon should have 4 bonds, isn't it? But where is the 4th bond? Right? So that means CH2s cannot stay as a branch here. If CH2 is there, they cannot stay as a branch. Though they are mentioned in a bracket, they cannot stay as a branch. If CH3 is there, then it can stay as a branch to this carbon. It is CH2. They are coming in a line only. Okay, so how many CH2s? After this carbon, how many CH2s? 1 CH2, second CH2, third CH2, and end is ending with CH3. So this way. And write its structural formula. CH2, no, 1 hydrogen here, another hydrogen here. So here for this carbon, 1 hydrogen here, another hydrogen here. For this carbon, 1 hydrogen here, another hydrogen here. For this carbon, hydrogen, hydrogen, hydrogen. So this is the structural formula for this condensed formula. Okay. So whenever CH2s are there in bracket, don't think that they are branch for this carbon. CH2s are like, they come in a line only. If CH3 is there, then it is a branch for this carbon. Okay. Say for example, the same thing I will change. CH3, CH, double bond, CH, I'll take it as CH3. Okay, 1 CH3 only I'll take. CH3. Okay, then how do you write its structural formula? C, 3 hydrogens, this carbon. Then the second carbon, CH, second and third carbon middle, you have a double bond. So 1 hydrogen. And now this CH3 is there as a branch. Okay, so to this carbon is attached. That in turn has 3 hydrogens. Okay, so this CH3 is a branch for this carbon. So I mentioned as a branch. Again, this carbon has 3 hydrogens. So elaborate it like this. So this is the expanded formula for this condensed formula. Okay, so you have to be very careful. If CH3s are there in a bracket, then you consider them as a branch for left side carbon. That is previous carbon. Okay, if CH2s are there in a bracket, no, they are not branches. They come in between this C and this C. They come in a line only. Okay, so these are few examples that you need to practice and learn. And now let us understand how to write bond line representation. This is really very, very important. Guys, observe this example. How I convert this into bond line representation. See, imagine I have a structure CH3, CH2, 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 CH3. Okay, see, hydrogen bonds I didn't elaborate. I have just written. Okay, so you can imagine, right, between carbon and hydrogen, there are 3 hydrogens. So 3 bonds around this carbon with hydrogen. So hydrogen bonds I didn't expand, just this way I have written. Okay, this I can call it as half condensed formula. Okay, say only bonds between carbon I have mentioned, not the bonds between carbon and hydrogen. So half condensed formula. Fine. And this one I need to convert into bond line representation. What we do in bond line representation is we mention only the bonds between carbon and carbons. Okay, we don't mention the symbol of the element also. We don't mention that there is a carbon, that there is 3 hydrogens. Okay, we don't mention anything. We just mention the bonds between carbon and carbon. Okay, in a zigzag fashion. Okay, see, to write a bond line representation, First, you start from one point. Say, let me consider this as carbon 1, carbon 2, carbon 3, carbon 4, carbon 5. So, 5 carbons are there, right? So, let me consider a point here. I consider this point as carbon 1. So, here carbons are represented as points only. Okay, not as C. Carbons are represented as points only, not as C. Okay, so this is my first carbon, first point. Second point, second carbon. Third carbon, fourth carbon, fifth carbon, over. So this is a bond line representation of this carbon, over this particular molecule. Okay, see, we are not mentioning anything, no carbon mentioning, no hydrogen mentioned. Okay, only these bonds are mentioned, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. That too in a zigzag manner. That's it. And the moment you see this structure, it is understood that at every point carbon is there. It is understood that at every point carbon is there. Okay, and this carbon, it has one bond with this carbon. So how many bonds it should have? 3 more bonds. So those 3 bonds are, it's understood that it is with hydrogen. And this carbon, 2 bonds are already there with neighboring carbons. How many bonds it require? 2 bonds. So those 2 bonds are with hydrogen. It is understood that those bonds are with hydrogen. It is understood that there is CH2 at this position. It is understood that there is CH2 at this position. There is CH2 at this position, and this group is CH3. Because you see, this point means carbon. One bond is with this neighboring carbon. So how many bonds this carbon must have? Still 3. So those 3 bonds are with 3 hydrogen. It is understood that there are 3, CH3 group. Okay, so without mentioning these CH2, CH3s, we just mention this molecule as like this. That's it. So this is the bond line representation of this molecule. Okay, so you must know both the ways. If this formula is given, condensed formula, you must know how to write in bond line representation. If bond line representation is there, you must know how to convert this into normal formula. Okay, both ways are very, very important. Okay, so now we will practice with lots of examples so that you will become perfect. Second example you see. Imagine I have this structure. Okay, CH3, one branch here, right? And CO, okay, let me put one more CH2 and COOH. Okay, so this is some organic molecule, and I need to mention this molecule into bond line representation. I need to convert this formula into this format. So how do I convert? First, what I need to do is count the carbon atoms which are there in a straight chain. Okay, so you count from one end. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But you see, this 6th carbon is there as a functional group. COOH means functional group, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let me start with a point from bottom. So this is first carbon, second carbon, third carbon, fourth carbon, fifth carbon, sixth carbon. Okay, and you see that 6th carbon, if it is a functional group, mention. If you leave as such, if you leave here as one dot, it is understood that this is a CH3 group, right? But that is not a CH3 group. That carbon is there in the form of a functional group, COOH. Functional groups you have to mention in bond line representation. Okay, and you see branch. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. At 4th carbon you have a branch. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what is this branch? CH3. When CH3 is there, just one line. Okay, so it is understood that there is a carbon at this point. If carbon is there, there are 3 hydrogens, it is understood. Okay, so you don't need to mention that there is CH3. Just leave it. It is understood that at this point there is CH3. Okay, so this is how you will mention this branch. And you see there is double bond between second and third carbon. This is first carbon, second carbon, third carbon. Double bonds or triple bonds you have to mention in bond line representation. Okay, so this is how you are writing in bond line representation. Okay, so hope the concept is getting clear. You have to practice with more and more questions, then you will become perfect. Okay, so one more example. The third example, CH3, okay, CH2, CH3, H2OH, okay, and then C triple bond CH. Okay, so this is a molecule. You have to convert this into bond line representation. Okay, you can pause the video and try in your book and then check it out whether the answer is correct or not. Okay, see, I will start writing its bond line representation. First, what I have to do, I have to count the number of carbons in a chain. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, start putting a points right from here down. 1, 2, second carbon, third carbon, fourth carbon, fifth carbon, sixth carbon only. Okay, and you see between 5 and 6 triple bond. So this is 5, this is 6, triple bond. Already one bond is there, second bond, third bond, triple bond. And now you show the branches. At fourth carbon there is a branch OH, fourth carbon. This is our fourth carbon branch. If you leave it as such, it is understood that there is CH3, but this branch is not CH3. It is a functional group OH. So mention OH. Okay, so if you are showing a branch to upper points, show the branch up. If you are showing a branch to lower points, show the branch bottom. Okay, you see at third carbon, this is a third carbon. Third carbon, there is a branch CH3. So that branch you can show. CH3, no? So if nothing is there here, at this point it is understood that there is CH3. Point means carbon. So if only one carbon, one bond is with this carbon, then 3 more bonds are with hydrogen. That is understood. Okay, so like this. So this is the, bond line representation for this molecule. So this is how you must learn how to write bond line representation. Now we will see the examples from your NCERT textbook. See guys here. So in the first two examples, condensed formulas are given. You should convert into bond line. Convert these guys into bond line. Okay, you see it's a cyclic compound, CH2, CH2, CH2. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 3 carbons, 1 carbon, second carbon, third carbon, and there is a connection between all the 3 carbons. Over. So this is actually cyclopropane, right? So it's not a triangle. In chemistry, if you have this symbol, it means that this is cyclopropane. Okay, so when you have this symbol, what do you mean by this? Say if I have a bond line representation as this, at every point carbon is there, here carbon is there, here carbon is there, here carbon is there, here carbon is there. And to this carbon, how many hydrogens? 2 bonds are already there, 2 hydrogens. To this carbon, 2 hydrogens, 2 hydrogens, 2 hydrogens. So 4 carbons are connected in a cyclic way. So this compound is called cyclobutane. Okay, so there are certain shapes in organic chemistry, but the shapes have a meaning. It's an organic molecule. Okay, fine. And now, you see this molecule. How do you convert this into bond line representation? First, you write expanded structure. It's a highly condensed structure. Convert that into expanded structure first. Then it will be easier for you to draw a bond line representation. So OH, CH2s are in bracket. I told you, CH2s, if they are there in bracket, it means that they are not the branches, they are in a line. Okay, say OH, right, bond. How many CH2s are there? 3. Put in a line, CH2, CH2, CH2s. And later you have CH. And you see there is a CH3 in a branch, in a bracket. That means this CH3 is there as a branch for this carbon. So I'll put that branch down. And continue. For this carbon, there is a bond with this CH. And again, CH3s are in bracket. That means they are as branches for this carbon. So how many CH3s? 2. One CH3 I will put here. Another CH3 I will put here. Okay. So highly condensed formula. First I have written its, expanded formula. Almost half expanded formula. Okay, so now I will represent this molecule in a bond line representation. Okay, so what did we do? First, we have to count the carbon atoms, right? And you see here, this is not a carbon, don't count this. So this is your first carbon. Carbon 1, carbon 2, carbon 3, carbon 4, carbon 5, carbon 6. Okay, so let me start from here, this point. This is carbon 1, carbon 2, carbon 3, carbon 4, carbon 5, carbon 6. And to carbon 1, there is a functional group. Functional groups you have to mention, right? So, OH, right? And at carbon 4, you have a branch CH3. This is carbon 1, carbon 2, carbon 3, carbon 4. So, what is a branch? CH3, just one dash. And at carbon 5 also CH3. Okay, for topmost point, branch show it up. For bottommost point, branch show it down. That's it, over. So this is the bond line representation for this molecule. See, it was in a highly condensed format. First I elaborated it into a elaborate structure. Then it is easier for me to draw a bond line representation. So you have to be very, very careful. Okay, and I will share few such examples in Telegram group also. So you can just refer or join our Telegram group for class 11. Okay, so I'll be sharing many such examples for the practice so that you can use it. Fine. And coming to the second category, guys. Bond line representations are given, but you have to convert them into condensed formula. Convert them into condensed or structural formula. Condensed or structural formula. Okay, so usually for the competitive examinations like JEE, NEET, questions are asked something like this. I mean, there is a complete equation, whereas the starting material they will mention in bond line representation. So to find the answer, first you must know what is the exact structure for a bond line representation. Okay, so every question in organic chemistry, most of the questions they will ask in the form of bond line format. Okay, so they will say this is the structure, this has reacted with KMnO4, what is the product, they will ask you. Okay, say here actually you must know what exactly is this structure, then only you can think of a reaction and product, right? So it's very important to understand bond line representation. Okay, fine. So now let's convert this into normal structure. This is very easy, guys, you no need to struggle. So converting bond line into normal condensed formula is very, very easy. What you have to do is just count the number of carbon atoms. See, it's a point, it's like a point, and here is a point that there is a carbon, here is a carbon, here is a carbon, here is a carbon. At every corner, at every point there is a carbon, here is a carbon. So how many carbons? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 carbons you put like this, 3, 4, 5. Show it with the bonds. And between carbon 1 and 2, this is carbon 1, carbon 2, carbon 3, carbon 4, carbon 5. Between 1 and 2, you actually have a triple bond. Show triple bond. And at fourth carbon, carbon 1, carbon 2, carbon 3, carbon 4. At fourth carbon, you have a branch, and that branch is with OH. So this is a normal skeleton that you have drawn. And now you put the hydrogen atoms, how many ever is required. So this carbon already has 3 bonds. So how many more bonds this carbon must have? 1. So show a bond with hydrogen. So this carbon, 1, 2, 3, 4. Already 4 bonds are there. And coming to this carbon, 2 bonds there, 2 more bonds required. Show it with hydrogen. 3 bonds are already there for this guy. 1 bond is required. So show it with hydrogen. 1 bond is already there. 3 bonds are required. So show it with hydrogen. Okay, so if I have to write the condensed formula, how do I write? CH, triple bond, C, right? This is CH2, right? And this is CHOH, and this is CH3, half condensed formula, right? Okay, so now this is much easier, right? So what you will do here? See, count the number of, everywhere carbon atoms are there. Say here is a carbon, here is a carbon, here is a carbon, here is a carbon, 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 right? So what you have to do? Just think that everywhere carbon. So this carbon, okay, or you can write like this. I'll count from one end. Carbon 1, carbon 2, carbon 3, carbon 4. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so at carbon 2 there is a branch that is also CH3. CH3 is a branch, right? If only one dash. And at carbon 3 also there is a branch that is also CH3, right? And what is this? One bond is there. So how many hydrogens? 3 hydrogens. So here 1 hydrogen, here 1 hydrogen, and here 3 hydrogens. If you want bonds between carbon and hydrogen also, you can elaborate and show, right? Over. And now coming to this particular example. Everywhere carbon is there. Here carbon, here carbon, 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 carbon. But they are connected in a cyclic way. So show that. C, C, okay. C, 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 C. Okay. And you see at this position, at this carbon, that means at this position you have Cl. And now put how many ever hydrogens required. This carbon already has 2 bonds, so 2 hydrogens. And this carbon, 2 hydrogens. This carbon, 2 hydrogens. Here also 2 hydrogens. Here also 2 hydrogens. But here only 1 hydrogen. Right? So actually this is CH2, 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 CH. Right? So half condensed formula. Cyclic compound. Okay. So fourth one, it was like this, right? Yeah. It's much easy. There are no branches. Just count the points. Don't forget this points. This is a point. This is a carbon. And this is also a carbon. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 carbons. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 carbons. Now show the this carbon needs 3 hydrogens. CH3. This one 2 hydrogens. Here 2 hydrogens. CH2. Right? So how do you show them? See, 2 hydrogens like this. This carbon also 2 hydrogens. This carbon also 2 hydrogens, 2 hydrogens, 2 hydrogens, 2 hydrogens, and 3 hydrogens. Okay. So converting bond line into normal structure is very, very easy. Clear? So I have shown both the ways. When condensed formula is given, how to write bond line. When bond line is given, how to write condensed and elaborate formulas. Okay, so this is the most important and fundamental basic topic everybody must understand, because in the competitive exams or in a board examinations, if they are giving any reaction, to predict the product, what product will come, the starting reactant they will mention in the form of bond line format. Okay, you must exactly understand what is the structure, where is the carbons, how many hydrogens are there, what functional groups, where it is attached. So this idea is very, very important. Okay, so with this I will end the session and we will meet up in the next video where I will be teaching you the classification of organic compounds. Okay, after that we will go for nomenclature, which is very, very important and elaborate topic. Clear? So that's all about today's video. Meet you all in the next video. Thank you.